stepping stone to greater things in their career. Certainly the most important fight that either of them have had. Not two fighters who've hit the headlines in any way at all, but they'll hope to in the future, starting this evening. So it's the IBF's Inter-Continental title that's on the line here. Peter Judson from Keighley in Yorkshire in the gold trunks, the stripes of the young Welshman Dean Phillips. Neither of them are the kind who like to take a backward step. There's going to be an awful lot of leather thrown, I think, in this contest before we're through. Both busy fighters, these.
Yeah, both all-action fighters, very much pressure fighters, stand right in front of each other and just throw punches, and this is the sort of thing we should expect all fight.
Good body shots from Phillips, who's told to keep his punches up. I didn't see one go low myself, I must say. Phillips just making slightly smarter start with some quite sharp work, straight punches through the middle and some body shots too. A lot of people think this young Welshman is a good little fighter. That was a lowish punch, the left hook from Phillips, but he's gone straight into gear here.
Yes, I think Judson's really making him fight, because Judson will come forward all the time. Phillips just getting through with better punches, although both of them have pretty tight guards.
Phillips will certainly be the one coming into this maybe with a wee bit more confidence on that run of 3 straight wins since his debatable decision loss to Colin McMillan.
Decent work with the jab from Judson, just changing style a little bit and just catching Phillips with a couple of jabs.
That was another low punch from Phillips. Have to watch that, otherwise he could find himself incurring the wrath of the referee when it comes to possible point deduction. Phillips is certainly the bigger hitter, you would think, of these two, judging by their record. But Judson is very, very busy, and he's very resilient as well. Never stopped in 34 fights over 7 years, Judson.
Some good work getting through with Phillips with that yelp every time he throws a punch.
Welcome back to Bowlers in Manchester on the Trafford Park Industrial Estate. We go to all the glamour venues, don't we, Glenn?
We certainly do. And I think a good round from Phillips. He just got through with a few more, I think, which maybe got him the round. I think this is the low blow, which, yep, that was a definite one below the belt.
Second round, Peter Judson in the gold trunks. Dean Phillips, the 20-year-old Welshman, who both Glenn and I thought was sharp enough to win that first round. He does have this little habit of yelping almost as he lands his punches. Phillips, almost like a hammer thrower or a shot putter at the Olympic Games. Much sharper work so far from Phillips. Judson hasn't quite found any kind of rhythm, has he?
No, he just hasn't really slipped into gear. I think it's just the fact that Phillips is throwing more punches and just keeping Judson off balance a little bit. Solid right hand landed by Phillips.
Very busy, the Welshman, with his crew cut there, and Judson likewise with the short cropped hair. A lot of fighters in the last couple of years have been given a boost, though, by moving in with this Phoenix camp, where there's a really thriving atmosphere. We've seen the successes of Steve Foster and Ensley Bingham, and Judson will hope the magic can work on him. It isn't at the moment, but it's early. And he may well be planning a distance campaign for which he's well equipped, Peter Judson. That's his best work so far.
Phillips replies with some good, strong punches.
Good stuff in this second round. Fight warming up nicely. Phillips' gum shield nearly coming out there. Judson beginning to land a bit more himself, though, in this round.
Yes, he's finishing the round just as stronger, just starting to slip into rhythm a little.
But Phillips certainly dominated the earlier part of the round. Looking all the time for those fierce-looking left hooks to the body is Dean Phillips. Rather higher work rate coming from the Welshman.
Yes, he's picking it up again at the end of the round.
It's better from Judson in this round, but he needs to improve again on this, really, to get really competitive in the fight. There's that feeling about it anyway.
Landing some good little uppercuts, Judson.
Now, 2 good rounds gone here. To Manchester, live boxing for you tonight for the IBF Inter-Continental super featherweight title. There's the number of punches landed so far, according to the computer. Phillips 84 to Judson's 67. That kind of confirms the impression that Glenn McCrory and I have here at ringside.
Yes, but this was better round this time for Judson. He just started to pick it up a little bit, and you see some of the quality work from Judson. And I'd probably give that an even round, with Judson just working inside and making his mark on the round.
Third round, strike shorts of Dean Phillips from Llanelli. Nice right hand from him there. That really landed with some force. Although Judson's lost his last 3 fights, 2 of those were against Colin McMillan and Daniel Alicia, the man who put Prince Nassim Hamed on the floor. And Dave Parris having to talk to Dean Phillips again about the punches straying low. I think if he has to do it a 3rd time, he'll be thinking about a point deduction. So Phillips has got to watch that. Always a problem for body punches, Glenn.
Yes, it really is. But Judson also, he has them shorts up very, very high. So it's making it a bit difficult for Phillips.
Judson keeping his gloves pretty high, and some of Phillips's blows are just catching the gloves. I think really all of them in that rally did, except the last punch. So that's another thing that makes the fight a bit harder to score.
And again, Judson, good uppercuts inside. He's worked hard on them punches and they're landing well.
Just a feeling that Judson is growing in confidence a wee bit.
Well, he's much the more experienced, and you would expect him just to plan for the distance fight maybe a little better.
Good combination from Phillips, and all the time those left hooks to the body. That's certainly been his best weapon so far. Punch that Barry McGuigan used to favour, that left hook to the body. And that was another low one from Phillips. He's got to watch it, you know. Good right uppercut from Judson in that exchange. Well, it's the fight we expected, really, with a very, very high work rate. It was never going to be a dull contest, was it?
No, we knew it was going to be a good fight, and certainly it's living up to that. And this is the way both men fight. They're going to stand in front of each other all the time and just throw punches. but I think Phillips has just threw a few more in this round.
Right to the side of the head from Phillips as well. As Phillips is well, maybe the shade more snappier. You're looking at shots of Dean Phillips. Ernie Fossey on the far side, and now he's really has been transgressing a bit with these low blows. He's had a couple of warnings, and there's another one.
Yes, they are slipping a little bit low. As I said, the shorts are very high from Judson. You see the waistband right above the protector, and I think he may have a few problems with that, Phillips.
The IBF Inter-Continental Super Featherweight title on the line tonight. A bit of a mouthful. It's very much a junior title, but it may well be a gateway to bigger things for the winner here. Peter Judson in the gold. Types. Only 20 years of age, Phillips. Judson smiling at him. He's the kind of fighter who just relishes the battle. He's one of those guys who absolutely seems to enjoy it in there.
Yes, he really does. I think he's a tremendous trainer as well, so you can guarantee he's prepared well for this fight. Both men, at the moment, both of them are getting their hands up quite well. They both have decent guards. And what's wonderful to see is how many clinches. I don't think I've seen one yet.
Eye-catching left hook from Judson. He's been around a bit, and Judson has this enormous self-belief. If you talk to him about his fights, he'll tell you that he won nearly all of them.
He won all of them. Yes,
Nothing wrong with that, though.
No, of course not. He really believes in his own ability.
Judson just working away steadily. And maybe a little bit less coming from Phillips in this phase of the fight.
Well, Phillips is having to throw an awful lot of punches to try and keep Judson off. I think it's Phillips that's lost the gum shield.
Judson getting his gloves up. Well, again, that seemed to stray on the low side, the shot from Dean Phillips. And he's complaining to referee Dave Paris. He has lost the gum shield. I think he'd like that to be put in, ideally. I'm not sure Dave Paris realises. He certainly does. Correction, he's got it in his hand. But he's waiting for a natural lull, which the referee is entitled to do, and I don't think that's happened yet.
In a fight like this, I think he may have to wait till the interval to find a lull in action.
He might have to wait till the end. Now, after about a minute, Phillips gets his gum shield put back in. Terrific action here. Left hook again from Phillips.
I think Judson's work's becoming a little better. He's landing with nice little uppercuts, and he's just starting to pick through the
quality, Peter Judson. And maybe for a youngster, that might be a wee bit dispiriting. Can charge again in this round, Phillips. I think the corner had a word with him.
Yes, and that was the first time where Judson had to give a bit of ground. Looked as if he's hurt with the left hook.
Oh, he's getting in with a whole succession here, Glenn. Cluster of punches from Phillips. Very impressive first, and Judson pokes his tongue out at him, as if to say, well, you might have caught me a few times, but I'm not hurt. And verbals between the two of them, but Phillips, that was the most impressive spell either fighter has had in this contest.
Yes, he had to take some hard punches there, Judson. It was a good round for Phillips. He really unloaded very heavily. And for the first time, you thought he was maybe just starting to get to Judson. There's the good left hook. He gives a little bit of ground. Another one comes back. But he's such a good chin, Judson. He took them very well and even managed to stick his tongue out at one point. Good uppercut from Judson, but Phillips came back with that left hook.
55 punches landed by Phillips in round 5 against 18 by Judson in that round. He threw 120. Cut looked a good shot too. Again, he looked low with the left hook. Judson workmanlike, but the greater variety and work rate from Phillips, and the body punches may well, you feel, take their toll the longer this goes on.
That's right, but he's having to work so very hard for this, Phillips. You know, he's thrown so many punches. Judson, you know, credit to him, he's taken a lot of these shots on the gloves, but obviously some are still getting through. But he's having to, has to have trained very hard, Phillips,
Another
to keep working like this.
Sorry, Glenn, there was another lowish blow there from Phillips.
Yes, he keeps switching them down, and he's going for the body to try and bring the hands down, but he's often going below the belt.
Good straight right from Judson. Both of them trying to meet fire with fire. Terrific scrap. Thought it would be.
Yes, it certainly lived up to what we thought it was going to be. Tremendous scrap.
Well, I wonder what Barry McGuigan is making of things.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a tremendous fight. We all anticipated a really good fight by two sort of guys that hadn't sort of hit the headlines, and these guys are really trying very hard. Pace is fantastic, and I thought Phillips was beginning to show signs of tiredness, but he has come back into it again in that round. I thought his pace is a little bit better. He's sort of breaking between his punches and using a little bit more cunning. Judson is always in there. He's soaked up a lot of punishment, but you can be sure he'll be in there fighting right to the end. It's a great fight, and anybody's fight at this stage, although I do have Phillips slightly ahead.
Thanks, Barry. 258 landed so far by Phillips against 167 for Judson. But look how many punches Phillips has thrown. That's purely unofficial, and it's from the computer. Round 7 into the second half of the fight. One of the problems Judson has is that he is a pretty light hitter. He's unlikely to knock his opponent out. He's only got one stoppage win, and that was on a cut lip over Colin Lynch of Coventry in 5 rounds back in 1991. So he hasn't stopped anyone for 5 years. So if Judson's going to win, it's probably going to have to be on points.
Yes, he's got to really try and pick it up a little bit now, Judson. Just starting to fall behind. He's got to have a good spell in the fight. And that's going to be difficult because Phillips is throwing a lot of punches.
I have Dean Phillips in a pretty handy lead at the halfway mark. Better from Judson.
It's good work from Judson, but Phillips, you know, he does well because he comes back. When Judson lands with a couple, he comes back and try and lands with 3.
Apart from his excellent performance over McMillan, he does hold a win over the former British featherweight champion Mike Devaney. Phillips, that was good form too. Covering up well with the gloves there, Judson.
But again, Phillips, the busier man in close. Some nice little counters from Judson. He's picking up with the jab, and the little uppercut's a good one.
Pace is ferocious. They just haven't stopped working from the first bell. As you've said, there's hardly been a clinch.
I struggle to remember when there was a clinch. This is a real professional performance. These guys are both here to fight. They're not here to clown or hold, simply just to get the job done.
Nobody's going to be asking for their money back here. Phillips landing with some good shots. Judson almost matching him punch for punch in that round. Bowlers in Manchester, just down the road from Manchester United football ground. And Glenn McCrory's scorecard, well, he'll explain it to you.
Yes, I've got Phillips in a 3-point lead, and he's just a busier fighter. Judson is performing well. He's still there, but he's just been a little bit outscored by Phillips.
Sounded like I disagreed with you, didn't it? There, I don't know. I think it's about 2. I've got it 2 points to Phillips. Round 8. Not our scorecards that matter one job, frankly. 3 judges scoring this one. Referee Dave Paris doesn't score. 2 British judges, 1 from Belgium. Understandably, they're both looking a wee bit more tired now. Being made to miss a wee bit more. Not quite so much in the punches. Doesn't look like that way anyway, but I'm not taking them, am I?
Yes, the defensive work from Judson's been pretty good. He just needs to throw more punches. He's just been outworked by Phillips.
It's difficult at the moment because quite a lot's missing and quite a lot's landing on the glove. It's a little bit untidy. Some blood from the nose of Phillips. Not much. He is so tough and determined, this Peter Judson. Good rally from him, but Phillips refuses to be dominated.
Yes, I think that's the good point of Phillips. Judson just trying to get on top here, just trying to throw more punches, pick up the pace, but Phillips comes storming back just to let the judges know, listen, I'm the boss, I'm throwing more.
Well, these two have been an absolute credit to themselves in there. They've both come in absolutely terrific shape and given marvellous performances. Ooh, that was a good right hand from Judson. And if only he could hit a bit harder, you might have wondered what the effect of that one would have been.
Yes, he's made Phillips miss a lot more in this, and he's been economical, but he's landed with better punches, I think, Judson.
This is going through one of those phases, Phillips, where he's just gone off the boil a little bit. A lot of arm shots, missing a lot. Good steady stuff from Judson. This may be his best round. And making Phillips miss. Judson just beginning to come on strong. That's a good round, that, by Peter Judson. A few months ago, but he failed a routine brain scan, had to take another one, that was clear. Then they found out that the original one was okay in the first place.
Yes, obviously that's very bad for him, but he's come through it. You see good work from Judson in this round. Just busier. Phillips comes storming back, but the gloves were up from Judson.
9th round. Last third of the fight. If you still need the identification, Peter Judson in the gold trunks from Keighley in Yorkshire. A man who's absolutely in love with his trade as a professional boxer. Dean Phillips confirming the impression we had of him before as a promising young up-and-comer.
And Phillips is going to have to show a bit of character now as we start to get into the late stages in the fight. He's got to keep this work going. He can't be outfazed by Judson, who's going to try and come on strong. He's the more experienced of the two and the older of the two. He's going to want to try and start picking it up from now in.
Just one or two signs, maybe just a hint of a mood swing here, with Judson beginning to stage a rally, although he walked straight into a right hand at that point. That hurt him. Even a resilient man like Judson wanting to cover up. It's a big right, that, by Phillips.
But Judson, he's took the shot well and he's come straight back into the fight.
Another good right from him. And Phillips must be thinking, well, what do I have to do to get this man going, let alone put him down? And Judson's come back from that very well indeed. Head's cleared.
Again, that's bound to dispirit Phillips a little bit, having Judson in a bit of trouble, throwing all the punches.
Oh, another big right, though, from Phillips. Fast and straight. And Judson, again, just let it bounce off his chin.
He takes it all so well. You just wonder if this is going to start getting to Phillips a little.
Well, I'm sure he must have done his homework. He must have known that Judson was the next thing to unstoppable.
Yes, but these are two very, very tough men.
Aren't they just?
And Judson at 20, this is a very tough fight to have so early in a career. You'll not want to be in too many like this, or it might be a very short career.
Really a hard, grueling battle now as it moves into its later stages. But I would suggest that Judson is taken a couple of hard right hands, but I think generally he's having his best spell of the fight.
Yes, but again, Phillips just tries to keep the pressure on. He doesn't want to try and let Judson take it away from him.
Terrific action in that round. That was very, very good stuff. Well, you've heard from Glenn McCrory sitting alongside me at ringside. Peter Judson's stablemate, Steve Foster, is also with us tonight. Steve, what about it?
Oh, what a great fight. I think the both lads are showing great character and determination. I've got Peter just in front by maybe a round, and Peter's experience is coming through a little bit now, and he's flagging Phillips. But if Peter keeps carrying on the way he does, I think he can discourage Phillips.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Steve Foster, who was due to fight for the world title tonight. Let's hope that happens for him soon against Ronald Winky Wright. Now, there's the computer printout again. Very, very close in that round. That was the impression. Almost impossible to separate them, I thought.
Well, I couldn't. I give it an even round, and what a tremendous round. Both of them had such good spells. You know, both of them come back. Wonderful stuff.
10th round. 9 minutes remaining in this excellent battle for the IBF's Intercontinental Super Featherweight crown. The stripes of Dean Phillips. Glenn's scorecard with Phillips a couple of points ahead. Interesting to hear Steve Foster thought his mate was just leading by a round. Oh, good shots again from Judson. Combinations.
He looks the fresher of the two, Ian, at this point. He's starting to mix his shots up a little bit. It looks like he's still, you know, he's still very alert. He's still thinking about his punches.
Very important for Phillips now that he keeps up to his work and doesn't fade, and he does fade as he's caught by that right hand. Down he goes. There's a left and then a right hand. He's up, is he, at 8, nearly 9. Dave Parris got to 9. Can Judson finish it here? Phillips is tiring. Can his head clear? Can Judson find another punch? The man who's only stopped one opponent has got Phillips going here, and he might be on the verge of a very famous win. Peter Judson. Phillips is in desperate trouble. And look at him come back. Well, isn't that just typical of this fight? If Peter Judson really had a concussive punch, I think he would have won it in this round by now.
But Phillips is going to have to work very hard to hang in there. He's been hurt, and I think he's just fighting off instinct at this point. He's got to try and clear his head, but I'm sure Judson's not going to let him do that.
Big right hand. Dave Parrish taking a very close look. Now the right uppercut. Judson is on the very verge of victory, and he's won it. Peter Judson scores by far the biggest win of his career. The journeyman fighter lifts the IBF's Intercontinental Super Featherweight title in pretty sensational fashion in the 10th round and scores only the second stoppage win of a 7-year career. Amazing stuff.
Absolutely. That was the question. Was Phillips going to wilt? It was so hard for him. He just had the more experienced Judson at the end. It was a tremendous fight from both men, and I think we've got to applaud both men. What a tremendous fight.
Well, Judson, his durability got him through some awkward moments early on when Phillips was so sharp, but then in the 10th round, with Judson coming back strongly, this is what happened.
The referee just hovering in there, looking for how good Phillips is, if he's still there. He threw a shot back, but then there's nothing coming back. And the referee thought it was time to jump in. He took a lot of punches in that round.
Here's the knockdown that Judson scored that started all the trouble for Phillips.
The left hook, the right hand. He was just, we said at the beginning of the round, he was just putting his punches together. Look, the pressure of the two at this stage, and he puts that combination together so well. And this is a man who can't punch. He just totally wore Phillips down.
Well, they said he couldn't punch anyway. Well, his loved ones are there as well to share in the moment. It's a great, great moment, this, for Peter Judson. He's lost his last 3 fights. He wasn't really fancied to win this one. And for a long time there, it looked as if, for all his resilience and durability, he would probably be on the wrong end of a points decision. But he just hung on in there. He was so strong, and he finished very, very well, and he found the punches. And Phillips, meanwhile, as they're helping him back to his corner, appears to have collapsed. Phillips has collapsed. Now, goodness me. Oh, dear. Well, Dean Phillips is in a bad way in that ring at the moment. He was being taken back to the corner and suddenly collapsed. And these are worrying scenes. There's a silence fallen all around the ring. His sisters are there and his family's here. And, of course, his own trainer is his father, Des, who's in there. And these are very, very worrying moments for all concerned here. Well, he is now conscious. I'm very, very relieved to tell you. They'll have to keep a very, very close watch on him. But sometimes in these championship fights at the lower weights, where fighters have worked so long and hard, there's the effects of dehydration. And, well, I'm very, very relieved to tell you that Dean Phillips at the moment appears to be okay. Thank goodness for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 7 seconds of the 10th round, the referee has stopped the contest. The winner and new IBF Intercontinental Super Featherweight champion, Peter Judson.
It's a great night for Peter Judson.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm really, really pleased to say that Dean Phillips is sitting up in the corner now and is conscious again.
He's been talking. They were asking him, was he all right? And he was nodding his head. So let's hope he's okay. And still a wonderful performance from Peter Judson.